Hello, and a very warm welcome to another episode of Her Space. This is Her Space, and in this podcast, we illuminate on mothers, stories of mothers in different spaces, mothers who are educators, mothers who are in healthcare, mothers who are staying at home and raising children, mothers who are doing a great job raising the next generation, and we bring these stories from all across the globe. So we're very excited this morning to have a very, very special guest who will be introducing shortly. And she is a mom who is also an educator, and she'll tell us a little more about herself. So thank you so much. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share. And karibuni sana. And thank you so much, our community, for your continuous support. So my name is Edna Mbogwa, and you're most welcome. Thank you so much, Sabiha. I'm so excited to have you here, especially the fact that my son is in your school, and you've been a great support system for us and the whole family. So you're part of our family.
That's so great to hear.
And thank you so much for accepting to come to the podcast. Please introduce yourself to our guests.
Asante for having me.
To our audience. Is it audience or guest? You're the educator. Please introduce yourself to our audience.
Hello, everybody. My name is Sabiha Hussein. I'm a mother to 5 beautiful children and the co-founder and community lead to Jasiri Souls School. I'm very passionate about education and nurturing children to lead purposeful lives so that we can make the world a better place.
Yeah. Wow. Oh my God. 5 kids. And still, you've done an amazing job to be a mom to your 5 kids and to also take care of another over 100 kids. It's a lot of work for one woman.
Yeah. Well, it's teamwork, I must say. The dream work always happens with the teamwork.
Yeah.
So it's collaborating and really working with a great team.
Yeah.
And I must say teaching is a calling.
Yes.
It's not just an ordinary thing. So a lot of the people who do come into the space are very aware of the type of work that they're going to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, teaching is, I would say, very spiritual. I believe in lots of religious books as well. We talk about how the teachers in the Bible, the teachers will be judged harshly.
Yeah.
And teachers take on a role as second parents.
Yeah.
In Islam as well, like teachers are really looked up to. So I feel like it's a very honorable role. And I'm grateful to be part of the education sector.
Yeah. And you're very deep because you're always telling me about how it's always about impacting the community and adding value.
100%. Like even 10, 12 years ago before I started the project.
Yeah.
And I asked myself, okay, why do I really want to do this? And I said, I want to make a difference in the world. I want to create impact.
Yeah.
And education felt like the best way of bringing that change. Because if you want to change the next generation, you just work with the children.
True.
And that's where I really found my purpose in working with children.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So good, especially when you call it purpose, because I really love purpose, living beyond, for a bigger thing, bigger than yourself.
For sure. And what really hurts me is when I hear people who've lived like 60, 70 years and they're still finding themselves and still wondering like, okay, what happened? The years passed so fast.
Yeah.
Why did we do what we did?
Yeah.
So if we come from a place of purpose, right from kindergarten, then that really shapes the way we are raising the next generation.
Sure.
And then we can live purposeful, meaningful lives and grow as communities and be who we're meant to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Thank you. Now, in this podcast, we celebrate mothers. It came up after the book I wrote to celebrate moms. And then we said we want to illuminate and amplify the voices of mothers in different spaces. So you can tell us a little bit about your mom. I always ask people about their mommy.
My mom is a masterpiece, I must say. So very interesting character.
Okay.
Everyone who knows her will say there's just something really special and light about her. She's all over.
Okay.
She's got a really big personality and I would say a lot of soul space. So I don't even know where to start about my mom, Mom's my North Star, mom's my backbone, mom's my inspiration.
Yeah.
The school started because it was her dream. She had this vision for 30 years to start a school because she's a teacher.
Okay.
She taught for 30 years. She worked with typical children.
Okay.
Then she worked with neurodivergent children, went into speech. And she had a lot of space for children with additional needs. And even for the typical ones, she always said that things can be done differently. Schools can run differently. Even the way she parented us in the 80s.
Okay.
These are the concepts we talk about today, like conscious parenting, gentle parenting, really putting the child at the center and making it about the child, not making it about the parent and all the unmet needs and all the dreams and visions that a parent has,
Yes.
So she did that back in the 80s,
Okay.
only to realize now in this era that there is actually a curriculum like Waldorf, or there are curriculums like Montessori. There's the parenting styles are really changing.
Yes.
So she, right from the 80s, the way she parented us was really, really inspiring. I'll just give you an example. Like, it was a rainy season in Nairobi, and like at 8 o'clock at night, and she spotted some frogs out of the window because we had a little garden. And she's like, come, let me take you. And we're 4. I have 3 brothers.
Okay.
So we go out, and we had a little paddling pool outside. So she lifts it, she puts some stones under, and she says, frogs are amphibians. So let me show you. She put some water on one side, some grass on the other side.
Okay.
We put the frogs in. And then she's like, okay, we'll come and check them in the morning.
Okay.
And you wake up in the morning with this excitement and this wonder. What happened to the frogs? Are they still there? Until today, we all remember frogs are amphibians.
Yeah.
Just from that type of learning. And that is how we teach at school.
Practical
and
learning.
That is how we grew up as well. So mom has been, she's really the North Star in our family.
Wow.
Yeah.
You can give her a shout out.
Mom, I love you, my dear. I'm here because of you. Yeah. Honestly, even in my parenting journey. So before, I had 2 stillbirths.
Yeah. Oh,
and then
I'm
I
sorry
had,
about that.
And thank you. And it's really been part of the growth curve. So I lost 2 boys, and then I had my first one and second one, and then we were surprised by a pair of twins.
Okay.
So life just went the other way, and then I had my 5th child, and all along, Mom has been part of the parenting journey.
Wow.
And it's been a real blessing to just have her to lean into.
Wow.
Because of the wisdom that she's brought. Yeah, I'm really grateful about that.
Wow. I celebrate you, Mama Sabiha. And thank you for the wonderful job you've done. Look at your daughter now, living your dream.
Yes, 100%.
Yes.
100%.
Wow, thank you. And how has your journey been as a mom? 5 children. You've already started the story of, even starting with a loss. How has it been, and how has it changed you?
Wow. So I think transformation over transformation over transformation.
Yes.
Yeah. Motherhood it's been a very beautiful journey. Definitely it started with losing 2 boys, and at that time I didn't understand the wisdom behind why it happened.
Yeah.
But when I look back, I'm grateful for those 2 losses.
Yeah.
So when I had my first one, I went all out. It was like Heather was my world, and I really was happy to drop everything just for him. And through that, we started a homeschool, and through that, the school started.
Okay.
And along the way, so I had the 2 boys, and then we started the school.
Okay.
And I had the 3 girls after the school had started.
Okay.
But along the way, I noticed my journey as a parent, from being very fixated and controlling or wanting to be involved in everything with my first, and with my 5th just letting go and trusting the process. She's pretty much grown up along with people around. And when they say that you need a village to raise a child, I've really experienced that with my 5th one.
Yeah.
She just weaved herself through and found her way around, and I've developed a lot of trust along the way, trusting that things will be well, trusting that it will be all right, and children will find their path. They'll find their way. There really is no need to stress and worry and overthink things. Just trusting the process, trusting the universe, and trusting the spiritual forces. As human beings, we do have a connection with the spiritual world. And things flow. Whatever's meant to be, wherever it's meant to be, it will happen.
It will happen.
Yeah.
Sometimes we think we're in control, but we are not.
Yeah, not at all.
We are not. And that's the thing about mothers. We have headaches trying to, but we are actually not in control.
And if you look at our parents and our grandparents and how they parented back in the day, mothers were so full of peace and trust. They trusted the process. They leaned into the community, and that reflected in the generations. If you look at how mental health is rising today, sometimes you wonder, where is it coming from? And a lot of adults are also in similar spaces, so
Yeah.
it's just passing down. If you look at back in the day, in the villages, or just even in Nairobi, how people, there was this flow
Yeah.
and this trust and allowing things to happen.
Yeah.
And there wasn't like this super competitive, like, oh,
Spirit.
yeah. And so there was a very different vibe around. So I really feel like as human beings we need to start trusting again.
Yeah.
Just trusting the process.
Yeah.
Yeah. As opposed to controlling everything. Yeah.
Yeah, because we get stressed out. And I think especially when you parent are neurodivergent,
Yes.
it's more, like it's that reality of you have to trust the process is so important, because you actually, like you, even where like when you're raising a typical child, you might feel like you're in control. Now you're not at all. Like you don't know what's going to happen.
Absolutely. There's so many
Yeah.
typical parents, children with typical parents with typical children that I've met.
Yeah.
And they'll tell you about incidents that happened. They had an epileptic fit, and a
Yeah.
child lost their speech.
Yeah.
They lost their ability to walk. So life is so unpredictable.
It is.
Really, the only thing we can do is trust.
Yeah.
Because you can't control anything.
I like that. Yeah. Trusting the process and just day by day, and trusting God,
Oh, yes.
because
Yes.
He's in control of everything.
He is. And
Yeah.
the life that the world that we're living in right now, it's so fast paced. There's so much happening.
Yeah.
Sometimes we forget to connect with our roots and, keep in touch with the things that really keep us grounded.
Yeah.
So we just have to constantly remind each other as a community to remember God.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. How is it mothering 5? How do you
Yeah.
do you need to balance them? Do you need to know them?
Yeah, well, initially I used to really stress. In fact, when I had the
You have to talk to all of them in the morning, like, good morning, Sam, good morning.
sometimes we even forget, to be
Oh.
honest. Initially I was like really stressed and worried, like, how am I going to do this?
Yeah.
But then at some point I just realized, like, it's anyway, things are happening, The baby is calm, she's feeding, she's growing. And so we keep having different phases with the children. But they look after each other.
Okay.
They fight with each other.
Okay.
They boss each other around. They pick, it's just interesting sometimes to step back and just watch that dynamic.
Yeah.
I do what I can do.
Okay.
Sometimes there's things I know I need to do, and I know it just slips away, and I'm so aware that I'm not doing them.
Yeah.
But I've learned not to beat myself up about, the things that I don't manage to do.
Yeah.
So it's just about prioritizing and saying, okay, what's the most important?
Yeah.
What needs to get done?
Yeah.
And then delegating who else can do this for me?
Yes.
And reaching out for support.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you have to delegate.
Yeah.
Yeah. And at least your mom is still around you.
My mom is very much around me. So we actually share a wall.
Okay. So she helps you a lot.
She's my neighbor. Yeah, so we really help each other.
Oh.
And for her, she keeps saying it's such a blessing to have you around.
Yeah.
Because now, she's like, life would be really empty otherwise. So
Yeah.
she doesn't find any dull moment.
Yeah.
She's always there doing something with the children.
Yeah.
Preparing meals and just
Exactly.
enjoying her.
Her sunset years.
Yeah,
Is it
exactly.
late sunset?
I don't know.
Her
Yes.
older life.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's how it's supposed to be, because even in the villages, we grew up with our grannies, and
Yeah.
they got to like kind of be younger because they're doing younger things.
Oh yeah, she keeps saying, you guys keep me young, you keep me going. And there's no room for sadness or depression or loneliness,
Yeah.
which is such a, in today's society, it's such a killer. These are killer issues.
Yeah.
People are lonely, people are bored.
Yeah.
They don't have, because gone are the days when you just knock at the neighbors and say, hello, here I am, let's have a
know.
cup of tea.
Yeah.
Or even just go to families' houses. So the new world has really disrupted our social
Yeah.
structures. And now it screens our children's neurological structures as well.
Exactly.
So it's things that we need to really look into.
Yeah.
There's a new book that's recently been published by Jonathan Haidt called The Anxious Generation. And
Yes.
he talks about these things, and he says it's time for us to really look,
Yeah.
because the rise of mental health is really worrying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we need to relax a bit. The gadgets are taking lead.
Too much, yeah.
Too much, so nobody talks to each other. Everyone is on their phone. Yeah.
And at the end of the day, we're social beings.
Yeah.
So
we are missing out on that.
so much. Because there's so much that you get from, just the power of community.
Yeah.
So there's a story I shared in the last Lantern Festival at the school. Back in the village, there was a really good a group who was led by a very powerful leader, and he was wise. He would keep the community together. They would have weekly barazas. So at some point, he noticed that there was a man who had not been coming for the baraza for a while. And he had heard that, okay, he's having difficult times.
Yeah.
So he goes to his house one night. It was cold. He knocks and the man invites him in. And they both sit around the fireplace. And then the leader, what he does is he takes a pair of tongs and he picks out one, red burning coal of charcoal. And he puts it on the side.
Okay.
And they both watch it. And very quickly, it loses its brightness.
Yeah.
It dims. The heat reduces.
Yeah.
And then after a few minutes, he takes it back and puts it back in the fireplace.
Yeah.
And within minutes, it's already burning. And that was enough wisdom that was shared just through that.
Yeah.
In the next baraza, the man was back.
Yeah.
And with time, he found his spark.
Yeah.
Which just goes to show us that sometimes we just need each other. Sometimes it's just a handshake.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just showing up. Sometimes it's listening to someone's story. And that just fuels them to now keep going.
Yeah. Wow. What a powerful lesson in a simple way. Oh,
yeah.
Good.
Very profound.
Yeah. I'm so proud of you because of the work that you're doing at the school. That,
Asante.
I think Jasiri Souls, the Waldorf system, it's an amazing, amazing initiative. It's an amazing school. We love how it feels like home. We
so
never
nice
feel like we're taking our baby to school. We just feel like it's an extension of our house, and you've built a close-knit team of staff and who just feel like part of our family. Even when I brought my siblings to the birthday the other day, they were just like, oh my God, this feels like home. The way we were just chatting with the teachers and the staff. Tell me about how you started and the vision behind starting the school and how that journey has been.
Okay. So we started, the school started after I had my first one, and he was around 2, and mom was like, let's start a homeschool.
Okay.
Because what she had noticed in schools where, everyone's put in a box, everyone has to do the same thing.
Yeah.
And she kept saying children are all different and unique, and everyone learns at their own way, in their own pace. And she kept talking about children at that time, this is 12 years ago, experiencing pressure in school and having overscheduled lives where, do this and then this and then this. And the thing that really stood out was academic burnout.
Yeah.
Because there's so many children that I spoke to, 12, 14-year-olds, were like, we're done with education, we're tired, we're not interested anymore.
Wow.
So she was saying that it's very important to give them space in the early years to just be children. Because children are not getting a chance to be children. And then what's happening is they grow up into young adults who still want to be children. And then we adults are like, what's wrong with these kids? They're just, what's wrong with these young people? They're just behaving like kids.
Yes.
Well, we didn't give them a chance to be children.
Yeah.
And then you have young people who don't want to get married, who don't want to have children, who just don't want to take on any responsibility.
Yeah.
And when you look back, you realize that it's these early years when it was time for them to play. It was time for them to be children. It was time for them to role play and play with the dollies and cook and do all these real life activities. But they didn't get a chance to do that. It was just
the school was very busy.
Yeah, it was very rigid. Do this and then this and then this and then this. You have tests, you have exams, you have to catch up, you have tuitions, and then do the piano and then go for classes. And so children are just are experiencing burnout, and that's why there's books like Anxious Generation. There's another one also called The Hurried Child Syndrome, where children are being rushed to grow up. Yeah, and childhood is so sacred and so special and so magical. So with that, we started the homeschool. It was in our house, and every morning I'd just transform the living room into like a little classroom. School setup with little corners for playing and learning and boards and paints. We started with 2 children, my son and a niece. And over 2 years, it grew to 5, 6 children. During that process, I had my second child as well. And during those 2 years, we really contemplated about now starting a school. So mom had the vision. She always had this plan, like one day I'll do a school. So she was very proactive in this process. And then what we did was we took a loan and we started Little Souls.
Oh, okay.
So even the day I started, like when I was looking for the name, I was like, who are these children? And what kind of name do I want to have? And it just dawned onto me that these are all souls.
Yeah.
All the children, we're all little souls in this great universe.
Yes.
And then I said, even the teachers are little souls, even the parents are little souls,
Yeah.
because in this grand, great universe, we're
Yeah.
all little souls.
Yes.
And we all have our little slot,
Yes.
on in the universe, and we all come together to complete this whole picture.
Yeah.
And so we came up with the puzzle piece, and that was our first logo.
Okay.
And that's the puzzle mindset, which is we're all unique, we're all individuals. I don't need to be like you.
Yes.
You don't need to be like me.
Yeah.
We can all just be who we are.
Yeah.
And make the world a better place.
Yeah.
So the homeschool ran for 2 years. Then we moved to Little Souls in Lavington. And then along the way, I bumped into Waldorf Education.
Okay.
I started doing some training.
Okay.
I had the twins very suddenly.
Okay.
We were not expecting twins. We don't have twins in any side of the family.
Okay.
But I had a very intuitive feel of, what if I have twins?
Okay.
And I hadn't gone for a scan
Okay.
till like my 6th month.
Okay.
So when I went,
And you were
I
told
was like,
it's
I have
twins.
twins. And in 1 week, the twins came.
Oh.
Because they were premature. So I had
6 months.
So at the end of 6 months, I had twins. They were in the, in the NICU, in the ICU, in the hospital. And it was a whole journey, to be honest. So school was, we were juggling school and home and having the family grow from 2 children to 4 children.
Wow.
And then COVID hit and things just went the other way.
Wow.
And then I had my 5th one.
Wow. In COVID.
During COVID. And for a moment, I wondered if the school is really going to make it.
Because now the motherhood.
It was just so much.
So much
Yeah.
work at home.
Yeah. And thankfully, we bounced back. So post-COVID, we bounced back. And then we bumped into Jasiri Homeschool. And they were following the Waldorf curriculum.
Okay.
Something I was very passionate about.
Yes.
So we used to do exchange programs. And then after 2 years, we actually joined hands.
Okay.
And so Little Souls joined with Jasiri Homeschool. And we
Okay.
formed Jasiri Souls.
Ah.
And now we're following the Waldorf curriculum or a Waldorf initiative. And something that I thought was not possible when I was
Yes.
doing the training in Waldorf, I was like, I love this curriculum. It's so child friendly. It's exactly what our children need today.
Yeah.
It's exactly what our teachers need today and our
Yes.
parents.
Yeah.
But I was skeptical on how I would be able to unfold it.
Yeah.
That was in 2016, 2017.
Yes.
And when I say trusting the process, I've really witnessed it, because when I let go,
Yeah.
after so many years,
Yeah.
I got a chance to join hands with Jasiri Homeschool, and now we're a Waldorf school.
Yes.
Something that I thought was so far-fetched.
Exactly. On
Yeah.
your own. The
Yes.
power of the call.
Oh,
Warming
yes.
up with others.
100%.
100%.
The power of the team, we come together
Yeah.
and we give each other energy.
Yeah.
And so here
Wow.
we are as a Waldorf initiative.
Yeah.
And it's a real honor to be able to offer Waldorf education in Nairobi,
It's
because there's
amazing.
very few schools.
Yeah.
And Waldorf is really the antidote
Yeah.
and the solution, the dawa for the problems that we're facing in the world today.
Oh, wow.
I strongly believe that.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about Waldorf, especially for someone who doesn't understand that, people know Montessori, people know Cambridge.
Yeah,
and
CBC and others, yeah.
Yes. What tell us a little bit more about the Waldorf system.
Okay, so Waldorf is a holistic system where all the teaching is done in a very holistic way. We do the 3 H's. We teach the head, the heart, and the hands.
Okay.
So at all times, we're raising children who are well balanced. You're not just working with the thinking and overthinking. You're also working with the heart, which is all the feelings, which are so important and powerful in our day-to-day lives. And you're also working with the doing, or with the will, with the hands,
Yes.
which is also equally important.
Yeah.
Because you can't just keep thinking about how your dinner's going to be so tasty tonight
And you're not
still
going
have
to cook it. Yes.
Yeah. So Waldorf is very balanced in that sense, where you teach head, heart, and hands. And with that, children are inspired to enjoy life, to enjoy learning.
Yeah.
They grow up being inspired to enjoy education. So one thing that really stands out is education. We don't look at education as just the filling of a vessel.
Yeah.
Education is the kindling of a flame.
Yeah.
It needs to come from inside.
Yeah.
If it's going to constantly come from the teacher and the parent, at some point the child will be like, I'm done with this.
Yeah.
But when it comes from the child, then he's owned it. It's his.
Yeah.
So the beautiful quote where they say, when an egg breaks from outside, you lose life.
Yeah.
But when an egg breaks from inside, you gain life. So what we want to do is foster a love for learning. And we want to give children a platform to develop and cultivate that love for learning from within.
From themselves.
Yeah, from themselves, so that it's lifelong. And so when you adopt different ways of teaching, so there's the 3 H's, and then one of a very profound way of teaching in the Waldorf is using the 7 arts.
Okay.
So when you teach using the 7 arts, constantly using stories to share a concept, singing, drama, poetry, music, painting, a lot of these things, they stir the feelings. And you know how it is, when you really feel passionately about something, then you really remember all of that.
Yeah.
So a lot of the learning is, not a lot, all of the learning is done through the 7 arts.
Okay.
Then what I would say about Waldorf is Rudolf Steiner is the founder for Waldorf education, and how he breaks down child development is in 3 phases.
Okay.
So he says there's the first 7 years, the middle 7 years, 7 to 14, and 14 to 21.
Okay.
So the first 7 years, he says the child is primarily in the will phase.
Yeah.
Will mean doing.
Okay.
And we know that, our children under 7 can't just sit in one space. They're constantly checking things out, exploring, looking, touching, tasting, smelling.
Yes.
And that's how they learn.
Yeah.
So it's very important that we teach them through that window, the way they learn.
Okay.
And 7 to 14 is a space where the feelings are being developed primarily. And so we teach through the feelings, through the 7 arts. And that way we really inspire and influence the child.
Okay.
And then 14 to 21, the child is in the thinking phase.
Okay.
Where that's the space now when you're doing all the analyzing, all the evaluation, the comparison, the critical thinking, it really heightens 14 to 21.
Okay.
So these are 3 phases of childhood that Rudolf Steiner has laid out. And so in the Waldorf kindergarten, in the first 7 years or 6 years, we do a lot of play-based, purposeful learning.
Yeah.
Learning is through play, through activities, as opposed to just very rote. And I'll give you an example here. If we're learning about colors, and you want to teach children that the primary colors mix to make the secondary colors.
Yes.
844, we would be told, so red plus blue makes purple. What does it make? Purple. And that's how you would teach them. And then you would go on. But what we do is we just put paper and paint. You put red and blue. Give the child a paintbrush. And everyone's doing their painting. And you start with a story about 2 friends who were walking. And there were 2 friends who met along the way. And then they held hands. And they were sharing and sharing and sharing. Now, when they put red and they put blue on the paper, at some point, the red and the blue will merge. Again, you have to trust the process. And then you'll have one person be like, oh, look what I got. Oh, yes. Oh, did you get? Yes. Oh, we got purple. Oh, so does red and blue make purple? Yes. Now, that is a discovery. It's the child become a scientist and they're like, oh, red, and you know what I did at home? I made purple. So you don't need to sit them down and memorize and cram and say, okay, we're revising for exams. Red plus blue is what? Green. No, you don't need to do that.
What we had to do.
Because you're teaching from a space of wonder. And you're giving the child the chance to discover. And that way you raise children who are curious. You have children who are analyzing, who are thinking, who are creative. And things then begin to really flow. So and this is really, really profound in Waldorf education.
I like that because it was really like, you remember the charts we had and we had to cram 2 times 2 equals 4 until, was it 12 times what? It was very,
12 times
I can
12.
still see the chart.
Yes. 100%. And most of us claim to have forgotten most of the stuff that we crammed. Because it was very surface learning. So the learning is deep. The idea is to give children a foundation, a strong foundation in kindergarten. Even when an engineer wants to build and draw the plans, before he starts doing any work, he'll be like, how high are you going? And how wide are you going? Based on that, we make the foundation. So with our children, we want them to go as wide and as high as possible. So we need to really cultivate the kindergarten years and really cement and solidify the kindergarten years.
The foundation.
And so foundation is focus. Before we can even talk about reading and writing, our children need to be able to concentrate, to coordinate, to follow instructions, to just, be able to sit.
Yeah.
There's so much in the background.
Yeah.
And sometimes we just rush into reading and writing. And we get caught up in these traps of, the neighbor's child is writing. Oh, the cousins are writing at the age of 3. But the little muscles are not even ready. If you look at x-rays and they show you children's hands, a 3-year-old, a 4-year-old, a 5-year-old, a 6-year-old, it shows that a child at 3 or 4 is not ready to do a lot of writing.
Okay.
And then what we say is, no, but the child's handwriting is not good. So he needs to do more practice.
Then they're
but the thing that then they're pushed, and then they at some point they begin to resent it.
Yeah.
Because we're doing the right thing at the wrong time.
At the wrong time.
If you do the right thing at the right time,
the child will follow along.
The child will follow along.
And we actually get to make young kids hate school so early.
True.
Somebody was telling me their child who is 6 has refused school.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he said, he's not going to school anymore. The pressure can be too much.
There's so many parents I've met who'll tell me, when my child was younger, they loved reading. They loved books. But now they're just averse to it.
Yeah.
So when you give the child the lead, let them choose.
Yeah.
Of course, we're the parents, we're the adults. There are things that we decide.
Yeah.
Our job is to ensure that children are not in danger, and we're giving the best for the child.
Yeah.
But what is the best? It doesn't mean what I wanted for me that I didn't get, or what I think is the best for the child.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fluidity in the initial years. Do you want to play with these blocks, or do you want to play these blocks?
Yeah.
Would you like to read this book or this one? As opposed to coming like, we're reading this book. And the child's like, no, but I want to read that. Like, no, but we're reading this book. So when we give children the choice,
the freedom,
and the freedom to choose, within parameters, then that really also brings about that sense of self, and they build their confidence, their self-esteem. And those are all building blocks to raising a child who's confident, raising a child who's purposeful.
Yeah.
All of those things are really important.
I love that. It's interesting because it's not just for the neurodivergence. It's even the typical children. Like the things you're talking about, I would think about them for my son, but they're for all children. To settle, to love, to concentrate, to be able to figure out their way.
Yeah, it's the same path for all the children, whether they're typical children or divergent children. So for divergent children, they need a little bit of assistance, a little bit of a modification. But just like we all walk, and then if someone has hurt their leg, they'll use a crutch. But at the end of the day, it's all the same.
Yeah.
It really is.
It's true.
Yeah.
What are some of the challenges that you have faced in your journey? Because you have so much passion for education, but now it's a business. What are some of the challenges that you have faced that other business people can learn from, or other people who want to start a school?
Well, I must say we've taken the long route.
Yeah.
Because it's sometimes parents, they struggle to really accept. Even sometimes people they're like, okay, this sounds good, this alternative education, but there's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
And these days we have edutainment, where education is being portrayed through entertainment modes, and so there's a lot of pressure out there, and parents are constantly worried about their children lagging behind. Will they catch up? And so we constantly have to have these conversations where a child is going to be exactly where he needs to be. We don't need to push them. We really don't need to put in pressure. They will move. And when they're ready, you would see how they just run. It's like you're working with a kite, and initially it's pole, but when it's ready to run, then you can actually just sit back and watch. So introducing, or just really holding on to this alternative way of teaching and learning, that has been a challenge. But at the same time, that's the thing that sets us apart. And for me, it brings purpose to what I do. I don't look at the school primarily as a business. For me, primarily it's adding value in the lives of children, in parents and teachers. And I would want for all teachers to be able to experience this, where you can teach and have and experience joy. When you're teaching children in a very flowy way, the children are responding. And for parents to not have to worry about this. If you look at the world that we are going towards, this digital age with artificial intelligence, automation, we don't even know what to expect. So definitely, it brings a lot of joy and gratitude and purpose for us that we're raising children in a direction where they'll be sorted, or where they'll be able to manage themselves. Look at how mental health is. But the way we teach and the way we interact with nature and with culture, and the way we infuse a sense of self-awareness with the children. There's a grounding.
Yeah.
I feel really it could be looked as a challenge, and it's also really a blessing.
A blessing, yeah. Because the children will be at the end be more fulfilled.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. We're raising children to be purposeful people in life. Yeah.
I feel sad when people have that thing of like, oh, like, I don't know, in this system they can, I don't know, do what, but I think it's our system because we were raised with the 844 system. So we really compare that. We want like a child to be able to write, I don't know, up to number 1,000.
Yeah.
Like the things we look at are very...
And then you see, we look from two lenses. Huh?
Yeah.
There's like these two big issues. There's comparison and
compare.
competition.
Actually,
and they're so intertwined because you can't compete unless you compare, right?
Yes.
So we're so caught up in this competitive loop.
Yeah.
But why are we competing ourselves with other people? When if you're competing with yourself, that's the best thing because then you're constantly growing.
Yeah.
But what happens is when you're constantly competing with other children in the class or with other people around you, then you're really headed for so many emotional disorders and concerns. The anxiety just keeps piling up.
Yeah.
So what we do instead is we do collaboration.
Yeah.
Let's hold hands.
Yeah.
And let's work with each other. Let's help each other, as opposed to going with this competitive way.
Yeah.
For me to win, all of you need to lose.
No.
So that I can come number one.
Yeah.
It doesn't even make sense.
Yeah.
But we can all be number one in our own way.
Exactly.
Mine is nice, yours is nice, his is nice, and everyone's done a nice painting. All our butterflies are nice.
Exactly.
Who's got the best butterfly? Why does it have to be that?
It was that system of number one and number two.
And then we think that, and that comes in our parenting as well, because we're like, the faster he learns how to read and write, the better. Yeah. The earlier they start, the better, because we think the earlier, the better because the faster. Yeah. Not realizing that we're just messing the foundation. Yeah. Only to then later on have to unlearn and relearn and clean up all.
And deal with more challenges ahead.
Yeah, which is totally unnecessary.
I know. I love that. And I love that you have made your school inclusive. And that has really also added so much value to many other parents who are looking for an inclusive school. And, most of us landed in your school after struggling a lot.
Yes.
From schools that did not want to be inclusive, or they wanted to do it, but they didn't know how to.
Yes.
Yeah. How is that working now?
Okay. So I do feel that, most schools would want to be inclusive. It's just that people don't know how to. And I feel like in Kenya, we really struggle because we don't have support from the government.
Yeah.
So it has been a challenge, being an inclusive school, working with children with additional needs all along. Yeah. Right from the homeschool, we had started with being an inclusive school, something Mom was very passionate about.
Okay, I love that.
And she really infused that in me. So at any point, throughout the challenges, we were like, no, but we still want to keep up and be inclusive. That's part of our identity.
Yes.
It comes back to the puzzle piece. We're all different.
Yes.
We're all special.
Yes.
And we all need to just celebrate each other's strengths and weaknesses. It's okay. The special ed, neurodivergency, it's on the rise. Though again, comes back to our lifestyles, the foods we eat, the lives that we live, the chemicals, the vaccinations. Yeah, there's a lot of things. So there is neurodivergency is on the rise. Yeah, and it's so important that we hold on and work as a team. Yeah. Our African cultures of Ubuntu, I am because we are, we're all together in this. So for us, it's a joy to be an inclusive school. The typical children have so many advantages and blessings because they really, from this young age, they're really working with their emotional intelligence. They really learn about diversity. And in fact, it's really sad to say that it's the adults who have the issues because the children, they flow so well. They're so innocent. Yeah. And they hold hands, they work with each other, they play with each other. Yeah. It's the adults who come in and look from that comparative lens and say, oh, but he's different. Yeah. It's the adults who come in and have that. You can even read body language sometimes. Yeah. But I must say over the 10 years, there's a huge, there's a change, there's growth. People are getting more open and even inclusive as adults. But there's a lot of work that needs to be done.
So much
work. A lot of work.
So much work, yeah. We are always educating. Yeah. And for us, that's also like a big agenda. We like everywhere we're going, we're trying to educate and help people to understand. But we are appreciating that at least schools are also paying attention to that. And when we come in and we find our kids together with the others playing and being loved, having a community around them. It's really heartwarming.
That's really nice to hear.
Yeah, it's really heartwarming, and you're doing an amazing job.
Asante.
I'm being told we are running out of time. I never know time is running out when I start talking, but we're having a good time. So what would be your advice to parents, especially, even from early age to as they nurture their children in terms of education? I like the way you're saying, let's not compare, let's not compete.
I would say, honestly, what I would say to parents as a mother of 5 is, and running a school, is not to get caught up in the comparison cycle. Everyone has different goals. Everyone has different, children are different. So the last place you want to start is by saying, oh, what is he doing and what is she doing? And the internet is full of resources. You can even check out our school webpage, Jasiri Souls. .sc.ke, or look at our Instagram page. Like, we've been trying to share stories and lots of information on the why. When we start with the why, there's also a book by Simon Sinek where he says start with the why. When you know your why, your purpose is very clear. So when we look at our children and just think about the why, what do we want for them and why, then the how will come. Like, okay, how do I want to educate them? But then you start with, why am I educating them? And for what I would say is, if we can inspire our children to be lifelong learners, then you've set them free. Because wherever they'll be, under a street light,
they'll be learning.
In a mountain, they'll be open to learning. And there's a very powerful quote that says, the illiterate of the 21st century are not those who can't read and write. The illiterate of the 21st century are those who can't learn, unlearn and relearn. And with this digital age, aren't those the most important skill sets? How much of unlearning and relearning and learning do we need to do constantly? So just developing a positive association with learning, that is like a very profound way to start.
Wow. Isn't that a beautiful takeout? Let's, teach our children to be lifelong learners.
Yes.
Yeah, so that it's not like, I'm finishing class 8, that's it.
That's it.
I'm finishing Form 4, that's it.
I'm done with the masters.
I'm graduating, I'm done.
Yeah.
The whole thing, and that's the reason why we enter even into marriages. We are not ready to learn anything.
We're fixated.
We are fixated to, I got done.
Totally.
And those stops and startings, sometimes they make life very uncomfortable. But when you know that you're always learning something new, even right now we've learned something.
So much.
We are always learning. It's such a good spirit. And then I feel like it doesn't give children pressure to always, but how do you do exams?
Again, that's such a profound area to discuss. So when we teach, again, coming back to our why, we learn for life.
Okay.
We don't learn for exams. So we're preparing children to be lifelong learners. We want to prepare children to be ready for life, not ready for exams.
Okay.
But we do have an element.
I like that.
We do have an element of assessments.
Okay.
But it's very opposite to what we had.
Okay.
You see, a lot of people say whatever we learned for exams, in 2 weeks we had forgotten it.
Yes.
So what was the point?
Taking in, vomiting in the exam?
Exactly.
Forget
you
it.
just regurgitated. Lots of people will tell you what they did in university. And then when they came actually on ground, it was like,
Very
oh my God,
different.
very
What was
different.
that?
So what's the point? So we're preparing children for life, not for exams primarily.
Okay.
But we do have it. Of course, assessments are very important because then they help you check, are you on track? And who needs to do what? So that we do have constant assessments. Teachers are always assessing. And again, teaching children to assess their own work so that they can also just constantly be assessing where they are, as opposed to waiting for someone to validate them and tell them that, oh, you're doing really well or you're not doing well.
Okay.
Give the child the net.
Okay.
They say if you want to empower somebody, don't give them fish.
Yeah.
You give them the net and you teach them how to fish. And that's what we want to do with our children. We want to give them nets.
Okay.
Not fishes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for just a typical person out there wondering, how will their child, transit from school to work? How does that path follow?
Okay, so children who finish the primary curriculum, they would be able to transition into any school comfortably.
Okay.
They have the skill sets they've developed.
Okay.
They would do an entrance exam in the other school.
Okay.
And they would do well.
Okay.
Because Waldorf prepares children for life.
Okay.
It's not just head work, it's head, heart and hands.
Yeah. So they can, at whatever level, transit to any other school of their choice.
Yeah. And then what we do is after year 3 onwards, after 9-10-year-olds, then we do class assessments, we do exams. It's not that we don't do them.
Okay.
But you see, we're we're not preparing the child for the exam.
Okay.
It's not like, oh, we have to,
Yeah,
we're preparing you for life.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Then they can, after 10 years, they transit
to any system. They can go to CBC, they can go to Cambridge,
Okay.
British curriculum, American.
Okay.
Literally any place that you throw the child, that'd be okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then now they choose their careers and all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the handwork, the things they do with their hands, the in the garden and all. It feels like an extension of home, which is amazing.
So that's what Rudolf Steiner says, like the kindergarten especially should be a home away from home.
Yeah.
And so it's a very warm setup.
Yeah.
It's a very secure space. And that way children just generally they just open up and unfold.
Yeah.
Because they feel very safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't feel the pressure of going to school. Wow, thank you so much. I think we must have another session maybe where we can talk more about the system, especially also for like later years.
Sure.
Like when now like I don't know what is the equivalent of high school, or for the parents also for typical children who are who are following through, who might want to know when are we sitting class 8 or I don't know the level equivalents. Yeah, but we can, I think it's something that you should do. And even as I was telling you earlier, I think it is something that you can do even a school podcast. And
oh, yes. You've given me such good ideas. I'm already imagining like a little room, which is a studio, and the children can do role play.
Exactly.
And they can come and pretend, and they can share what they saw in the garden today, what they did in their forest work in the arboretum.
Yeah.
And that way we're building confidence right from this young age.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'll catch you on that.
Please do. Yeah. And Juma is here to help us do that because there's so much information to share. And I know like every time I tell people we are in Waldorf system, they're like, okay, so what's Waldorf?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think even for parents, it's good for them to know, they can understand and
100%.
they can feel confident.
Yes.
But I can tell you it's an amazing system. I love it. Our child turned 6, he's still nonverbal. We are not feeling pressure. And yet he has learned so much. He's able to dress himself now. He's brushing his teeth. He's toilet trained. He's eating at the table. He's doing really great things. And we can be able to see the milestones in a calm way. We are not feeling pressure.
That's so good to hear.
Yeah.
And again, we focus on progress, not perfection.
Yes.
So as long as you can see progress and celebrate the small wins, then you're good to go.
Exactly. Yeah. So thank you so much for coming. We had Sabiha. The other name is
Sabiha Hussein.
Yeah, we had Sabiha Hussein. In the other, it's Kimji.
Yeah, Sabiha Hussein Kimji.
Okay. Yeah. So we had Sabiha Hussein from Jasiri Souls School in Lavington, which is a Waldorf Initiative school, and inclusive, taking care of amazing little souls who are both typical and neurodivergent. My son Theo being one of them, and we love to sit under your table and learn. And the school is so amazing. There's a whole banda there. You can go chill out as a parent, watch your child. There's so much freedom. There's so much flexibility. It feels like a home away from home. Yeah, so thank you so much. And a shout out to your mommy for her big vision that you're actualizing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we celebrate you. A mother of 5 doing so much, taking care of so many other children and impacting many children in Kenya. So thank you so much. We look forward to more sessions. And if you need our help to help you also set up, we are here to support you so that this information can go out to very many people. Asante sana. Thank you, our viewers, for joining us. This was Her Space. Please remember to subscribe, share, and leave a comment. Which curriculum is your child following? Do you have a typical or a neurodivergent child? Which curriculum are they following? Are you training them to be lifelong learners, to be open to learning all through their lives? Because learning is not like I finish this class and then that's done, but it's just like open their minds to be lifelong learners, and also teaching our children to appreciate divergent situations. Like we are not all the same, like the puzzle of Jasiri Souls.
Yes.
We are different and we are good. We are all special and unique in our own ways. So leave a comment there for us and tell us how your experience has been with schools. And we look forward to seeing you next time. Till next time, bye-bye.